Welcome to my next project. We're going to go ahead and jump right in at the table saw. We're going to start cutting down the drawer fronts here. I'm simply resawing these. I'm going to make several passes on the table saw until I can get these cut in half. This is oak, so this is pretty hard wood, and it's a big board to cut, so multiple passes is definitely a necessity. Just raise the blade a little bit between each cut. This went very smooth actually, so really no problems here. Now this next part, when I get into filling these cracks with some epoxy, this is my first time trying that, and that's where it kind of went south. At least at first, that's the way it went. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and sand these drawer fronts down and get them cleaned up a lot. And now let me show you what all I'm going to use for this. Not a sponsored video. I sprayed black spray paint on the sides like that so that I wouldn't spray it and it blow everywhere on the workbench and blow the epoxy away. And then I tried to get it to drip in there, and it didn't work really at first, so I had to spray some more paint to finally get it to drip. That's not the problems. That there actually went okay. And the mixing it went fine too. This JB Weld epoxy is extremely thick, and I tried to apply it almost like putty, and it's definitely not putty. And I definitely had to mix up more than one batch of this. And this here is where I would say I went wrong, is all of this part right here. And yeah, I ended up having to mix up more and just kept applying it. Like I said, I applied it like it was putty. After I finished, it looked alright, filling in all those little cracks, but this is not the way that this epoxy is meant to be used. The reason why I tried this JB Weld is it's available at most big box stores like Home Depot. That's actually where I bought this set, and I wanted to try it out in case I wanted to do this on a future project and needed to buy some epoxy quickly. For the other drawer front, there will be another video where I use some different epoxy, and I'll go over it in that video. So here I can go ahead and pause for just a moment and say that if you decide to use this, do not try to apply this like putty. This did not go well, as you can see, and we're going to try it a little bit different now. So here's what I did this time. This time I mixed the epoxy up, and then I went to the cracks that weren't filled in good yet, like these deeper holes, and I actually just like let the epoxy run off of my putty knife there right into the cracks, and I tried to spread it pretty evenly. Right down there was a lot of little cracks, so I tried my best to get all of them filled in and get the big crack across the middle filled in as well. Now I went back with my torch and lightly heated these up to get all the air bubbles to pop. Now I decided I was going to try to scrape this, and I started out scraping it and that didn't go well, so I switched over to some heavy grit, I think like 80 or 100 grit on my random orbit sander, and that went much better. Again, didn't look like it at first, as you can see in the videos, but here in a minute you'll see a finished product, and it turned out much better. And here's the finished product of the board. I didn't get a good shot of it, but here's it. You can see it there. I will have a video where I apply some Rubio MonoCoat to these, so look for that video in the next week or so. Thanks again for watching, and as always, y'all will see me next time.